What's up everybody? My name is Anthony Farrell. Today we are outside with our friend Peyton here. She will be our model for today. So as you can see, we're in the elements. So what we're gonna do is talk about some tips when it comes to shooting on location. So today I am using, once again, my Sony a7 III, but instead of an 85, I'm using a 35mm 1.4. I prefer to use a 35 when I'm shooting on location, or my 24, just because I wanna see the elements. But we're gonna talk about these tips today and hopefully try to help you guys feel more confident about shooting outside. So with that being said, how you feel?
Great, it's amazing.
All right, let's get started. All right, so we're actually gonna start with tip number one. Tip number one is basically lighting outweighs your location. Today is one of those days where it's almost kind of the perfect weather. It's an overcast day, so we're dipping in between shade and having harsh sunlight. You can probably see that in the video right now. But say if this was a day where it was just no clouds, just straight sun, what you're gonna get is a very interesting experience for some photographers. If you don't have any modifiers, you're gonna be fighting the sun, fighting shadows, and you don't want that. So in this situation, I want you to actually spend a little time focusing on where you're shooting and what the light looks like. So if your light is bad, your pictures will be bad. But like I said, right now it's a really nice day and pretty much I can shoot anywhere and it looks good. So let's try. So here we are in this situation. Lighting, as I said, is really good. What I'm actually gonna do is use this to my advantage. If you can see on the ground here, I have this line of light going through. This is actually bouncing on her face even though she's in the shadow. So this is just kind of like an advanced technique of knowing how light is going to reflect off of your subject. So if the light comes back, you'll see her face get a lot brighter. And I chose this location because I'm getting just those reflections. And I'm actually intentionally putting the sunlight, the sunlit side in the frame as well as the dark sides, just so you can see how that's looking. So now that you can see that, let me close in and find the angle. And this just looks so nice. You're doing great, Peyton. Look off to that way for me. Good. And that looks so good. So, just so you can see. Oh, beautiful location, but I'm gonna show you the difference and I'm not gonna change any settings from where I'm at if I move the placement over, just so you can see the difference of how the sun is affecting her. So Peyton, do me a favor, take 6 steps back. Oh no. All right, so we're basically same settings and didn't change anything, but what's gone for me is just like a dimension that really separates her. She still looks good, and granted, I didn't change any settings. If I back out so you can see everything, but it's just an added element that's missing. So same thing, come back to where the light was. So right here at that edge, poor caterpillar. Perfect. And then angle towards this way again. And just like that, you see the same settings. Good. Love that. And let's just change that angle. Got it. So yeah, use your light. Use your light. All right, so here we are, tip number 2. Basically, this one just deals with composition. I feel like a lot of people sometimes try to fit too much into their composition. So as you can see behind me, I have quite a bit going on. We have this cool glass structure. Then we have a building over there that's really cool. And of course we still have our model. So tip number 2 is just don't overwhelm your composition. You should try to make sure that you're always keeping your subject the focus. So what I'm gonna do is take a few shots of what I don't want you to do, and then we're gonna change it up and show you a better angle or approach. Sounds good? Let's do it. All right, so here we are, first location. I'm basically trying to fit everything. So the glass structure, the stairs, the building behind, everything. And I can't lie, it doesn't look bad, but there's just so much to look at. And what happens is that sometimes I just lose my focus on where I should have my eye placement. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change this composition just a little bit, and I'm actually gonna leave you right where you're at. I'm gonna come closer. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna frame my subject. And if you can look behind her, I have lines leading just to her head. I'm also using this tree behind her to frame her. So without even moving my subject, it's just a better composition because I'm now leading your eye to where I want you to be. So let's change this a little bit more. Let's head up the stairs a little bit. All right, so we're back basically still in the same place. What we're doing now is I'm just focusing on one element. So having this standalone elevator with a glass covering, it's pretty cool. So that's what I want to focus on. So what I'm gonna do is frame up my shot. Make sure I'm seeing just enough of the glass. And I'm switching between angles just because as I look through the camera, certain things are gonna stand out better for me. So right here, there's a line right behind her that's leading me right to where I want my eye to look. And I can frame that just a little bit better too. Perfect. And Peyton does a good job of making angles with her body as well, which helps out with the process as well. So that's tip number 2. That's just showing you don't overwhelm your composition, because if you get too much going, kind of get lost in the sauce. Don't want that. Try to fill your frame with your subject and use your environment to frame your subject. That makes sense. So this is tip number 3. Tip number 3 is perspective. I feel like a lot of people shoot pretty much at head height and call it a day. What I'm gonna do is show you some ideas, because looking behind me, we have this really cool, I guess this is a lead way into a garage, but there are a lot of leading lines here. And the first thing I feel like people are gonna do, they're gonna shoot this straight on and not really look at it from any other different angles. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop into this. I'm gonna show you what I feel like people are gonna do first, and then I'm gonna show you what else you can do. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna shoot this right at head height where I feel like most people just kind of see this, and then we're gonna change it up from here. So let's start. Good. And I mean, it does not look bad if you shoot like this, and I have no qualm, but what I'm saying is that it could be better. So what if I come up a little bit and I come closer? And now that line is leading straight to her head. On the same spectrum, what if I come lower and I get rid of everything that's in the background? All right, so now we're on to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is one of those things where I feel like I fall victim to this sometimes, but this is really just, don't try to force yourself to make the shot. A lot of times we see things in our heads and we get the shooting and it's not coming out how we wanted it to, and we spend too much time trying to figure out, why does this not look like what I want it to look like? Now, what I'm gonna do is, right now, there's really not much in this field. It's just a field and a building. So we're gonna take some shots. I see something in my head, but I wanna see if I can make it work. If it doesn't work, it's okay. If it does, great. And that's the mindset that you should have. You shouldn't spend more than 2 to 3 minutes trying to make a shot work, because ultimately this is a time saver, but also this just keeps you from like burning out creatively. Nothing is worse than shooting and not getting the result that you want, and then just getting frustrated and throws the rest of the shoot off. So let's go ahead and get started into this, and we'll talk about it as we go. We're in this field. I'm gonna start with Peyton standing up. I'm gonna see what this shot looks like, and off the back, doesn't look back. I'm trying to like position her right in between those 2 poles behind her, and I do like that the little bit of wind is giving it some movement. But I mean, if I'm looking at this and being honest, it's not like spectacular. Like, it looks good, but I'm not sure. So what I would say in this situation, I could keep trying to take this shot and moving around to find the angle, but I'm gonna try something different. So let's have you sit for me. And one thing for me, I really care a lot about textures. So when I look at grass, I see textures. So head up, there we go. and that itself, bring that right hand into the frame, so either to your chest or to your chin. There you go. Good. And just something as simple as this angle makes all the difference. I didn't need to see everything behind her, and I can actually pull this out. So just like that, just by changing my mindset on what I was wanting out of the shot and just being willing to accept that what I was shooting wasn't looking how I wanted it to look, that made everything better. So, all right, so the last tip is actually probably the most important if you're gonna work with people, and that's just making sure that your model or whoever your client is comfortable. The last thing you wanna do is make your model uncomfortable, because what happens is when they become uncomfortable, they lose their confidence, and when they lose their confidence, you can really see it in their face and in their posing. So the more able that you are to really boost their confidence and really speaking to them, the more confident they're gonna be with their posing. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna show you some examples, and I'm pretty sure you've seen throughout this video where I'm constantly saying, hey, that looks great, you're doing good, all of that, that all plays a part. Also, make sure you're showing your client those images that look really good. Like when you see something you're like, that's the shot, show them. That's gonna boost their confidence as well. And also just ask if there's any feedback that they have. There's a plane. But yeah, also ask if there's any feedback that they have, because sometimes you may not notice something that they are noticing. And the best thing you need to figure out on the front end is this is insecurity or is this something that really needs to be addressed. If it's insecurity, just make sure that you speak life into them. Make sure that you're complimenting them, letting them know that, hey, they look great and it looks good. Just because sometimes your client may need that, the model may need that. Okay, so we were shooting at our last location. I chose this spot because I like how the lines just lead up, and it just looks really good. It's like a curved glass, so I don't see that very often. So what we're gonna do is start shooting, get my settings right here, and just go. And I'm really gonna play around with angles and see what looks good. But yeah, that looks really good, Peyton. Thank you. Leaning into that, perfect. And of course, another plane is going by. Go ahead and tilt the glasses down a little bit for me. Good, love that. And just because I'm curious, what happens if I come right there? Don't really like that as much, but you look great. Yeah. And I'm gonna come right back here. Good. I think leaning back looks great. Ah! What do you see?
I don't know, whatever bug that was. What's the bug?
Okay. So leaning back just like that and coming up at that angle right there. I think that might be the shot for me. Good. Love that. Perfect. Good job. You got it?
Thank you.
Perfect. So, once again, just make sure that your model is confident. Keep feeding compliments when you see something that looks nice. It's gonna go a long ways. Matter of fact, let me not say anything. How did you feel?
I feel amazing. I feel very educated.
How do you think I did?
I think you did amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you heard it from Peyton. So thank you so much again for watching. Hopefully some of these tips prove helpful for you in the future. Once again, if you do have any questions, things that stood out to you that you really enjoyed, or things that you wish I would have touched on more, please let me know. I absolutely try to reply back to everybody. So thank you again. Until next time. Peace.